Hello and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. This is a reading today for all Librans out there. Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising Librans. If you don't know your placement for your Moon, your Rising and Venus, then I will put a link down below in the description for a free astrology birth chart website. This is a general reading, so it's not going to resonate with everybody out there, every Libran out there. Hopefully it will resonate with some of you. Some of you will be able to get a message from this. If you would like to book a personal private reading with me where you will get more information for your own situation, then my email will also be in the description down below. Okay, so I'm going to start your reading, Libra, with the Namaste cards. Beautiful cards done by Tony Carmine Salerno. And today, Libra, you got 4 cards come out. Now, I was only going to take 2 of them, but I was told to kind of put the other 2 aside. And looking at your reading, I think there's a good reason for that. So we'll start with this card here. And I will have to take my glasses off because I can't read very well when I have them on. So this card is all about life's blessings. There's 2 trees standing strong there, standing tall together, kind of leaning towards each other. And it says, Life bestows her blessing. She is the wind of change flowing through you, and this change is your blessing. Don't try to hold on, no matter how unsettling it may seem, for all will magically transform when the time is right. When you look back, you will see only love. So it's saying that at the moment, there's change coming into your life, and you need to allow it to happen, which is very interesting. When I look at the rest of the cards that are laid out here, I can see why that card has come out. And this is another beautiful card, the angel here, with the butterfly, which is all about change, transformation. And this card is called A Blessing from the Beloved. Love unfolds your wings and you fly high above the earth into the realm of heaven. Blessed by the light of her beautiful soul, you enter the emerald heart of the Divine Mother, which is full of eternal blessings. The world is your playground, waiting to be explored, beloved. So again, change, transformation, allowing yourself to rise above things, not to stay stuck in who you are at this present moment. So I'm going to read those 2 cards for now, and I'll leave the other 2 until later. The main bulk of your reading is being done with the Greek mythic tarot deck, designed by Juliet Sherman Burke and Liz Green together. And the first card that we have coming out, the centre, the very heart of your reading, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen of Pentacles is a very earthy energy. She's a very fertile energy. She sits in her domain and she kind of rules over her domain. She's very family orientated, very loving, very caring. She kind of, not just family, but she will kind of bring in friends, neighbours. They all kind of become part of her fold, if you like. She likes to take care of people. She likes to feed them up, and she's all those kind of things of nurture and nature and well-being, and it's not just a feminine energy. Just because it's a queen, it doesn't mean that it has to just be a female. This can also be a man with these energies. This is just an energy. It's not saying that this has to be a woman. So those energies are present within this queen, this need to take care of, this need to be responsible for others in many ways. But she does also have a side of her where she can be quite unforgiving, shall we say. There is a side of her that if you cross her too many times, her loyalty, her trust, she will no longer allow you into her life. She will cut you out. Unlike the Queen of Swords, who has the capacity to cut through things, the Queen of Pentacles tends to cut out in a different way. It's like she will turn her back on you when you're no longer her friend. And that's a side of her that is difficult for other people to get their heads round, this unforgiving side of her. Once her mind is made up, she's incredibly difficult to change. That mind, it's like stubborn, fixed energy. No, that's it. Had enough, not doing it again. It's that kind of energy. It's very bull-like. You can see the bull, the Taurus element there. It also represents the other two earth signs, Virgo and Capricorn, which are also very earthy. But this card in itself kind of represents that Taurian fixed nature, that Taurian once I've made a decision, hell and high water will not get me to change it unless it's in my benefit. So usually I would take the next card as being the card that's above and what's in your head and what you're aware of. But for this reading, I'm going to go with the card that's below in the subconscious. And the reason I'm doing this, Libra, is because this, again, is a forgiving card. It's a card that needs to forgive. And I get the feeling that something here needs to be forgiven by this energy, by this character, that she needs to allow herself to forgive something that has happened to her in order to be able to move on. This Judgment here, this is Hermes, who also turns up in the Magician card with the Caduceus here. He has the Caduceus and he is in his kind of greater form as the messenger of the gods in this card, also known as Mercury. And these individuals here, he's calling them up from the dead in order to be able to let them go, to release them. So they are representations for me of situations that have happened in our life, situations, people, because it's down the stairs, the garden is in the background here, and the stairs are leading down. It kind of expresses for me that this is inner, this is an inner situation, this is inner work that needs to be done here in order to be able to let go of these ghosts from the past. And they will be haunting. This is another thing about this card. There is kind of a haunting element to this as well. It's kind of like, you know, you can be doing the washing up or out shopping or whatever, and it will just come up into your mind, and you'll remember a certain situation. And the real issue here is forgiveness. It is forgiveness, and this queen does not find that easy to do. She really does not have an easy time of forgiving people if they cross her too many times. She'll forgive them once, twice maybe, but 3 times, tricky. So this card is saying that not only do you need to forgive the situations and the people that could have been involved in these stories of your past, but also there needs to be a forgiveness of yourself and any part that you think you may have played within those situations, because we often kind of ignore the forgiveness for ourselves. We kind of think, you know, we should forgive everybody else, but we don't have to be forgiven. So in order to really let go of something, we need to forgive the part that we think we may have played in it. And the next card I'm going to go to is the card that's in your head, what you are aware of, and this is reversed, which is the Fool, if you look at it this way up. This is a time, this is a young energy, in the sense of this is about kind of trusting your instincts. The big message with this card is trust. Trust the path, trust the journey, trust what's coming next, empty, leap into the unknown. It's a time of coming out of a kind of more hidden space, shall we say. It's more a time of kind of like hibernation, like you've been kind of hiding away from the world, and now it's time to come out and take that leap. But because this is reversed, I'm going to say that this is not going to be an easy step to take. It feels like something's very stuck. And another reason I'm saying that is because you have as your incoming energy the Ten of Wands here. And the Ten of Wands is very much about self-oppression. It's about bringing your own creativity, is kind of bringing you down. It's staying stuck in the same place. You can't move beyond those thoughts, those ideas that you have, that you want to be able to put into something in order to be able to create something magnificent. And it's often comes at a time, because it's a 10, it's an ending, so it's a completion, but it's often at a time when we have achieved something that has been so hard for us to achieve, or has taken a lot out of us, a lot of work has gone into it, and we kind of get to the end of it, and it can be a bit of a kind of anti-climax, even though we really, really wanted to achieve it, and we really wanted to get to the end of that, whether it's a creative project. I often liken it to artists, musicians who create something, but once that's done, once that masterpiece has been created, it's like, what now? What next? What, you know, it's that mental block of not being able to see beyond that point. And this is what's moving in. And with this in your head and what you're aware of being the Fool, not being able to take that leap, not being able to trust the unknown and jump into the future in many ways, it's saying to me that there is a really kind of stuck energy here. There is an energy where you feel really blocked and really kind of don't know what's next, where to go next, what's the next step in your life, what should you be doing with your life. And the card that's moving away is the Devil card. And the Devil card for me often depicts a energy of dealing with the darkness. I always like to think of this as dealing with, if you see here, the devil has these two human beings naked and chained to his hand. He's holding them by leashes. He's got them in his grip. Often signs of things like addictions, obsessions, all that kind of dark side of our nature that we don't necessarily want to admit to ourselves that we have, and we kind of try and gloss it over, you know, because we're worried about what other people might think if they know about that side of ourselves. So we tend to try and, you know, put on masks and just dance to this kind of tune of everybody else's dictates in many ways, because we don't want to admit to ourselves. And if we can't admit these things to ourselves, we can't admit it to anybody else either. So the first step really is admitting these things to ourselves before we can even begin to admit it to other people. But there is a sense here with this card that the power, that you have no control. You feel as though you have no control here. You feel as though you have, you know, that you are under the under the thumb of other people, that you have no way out of this situation. With the Fool reversed, what's in your head, and with the Ten of Wands moving into the situation, it does feel like it's a quite heavy energy. We've got 3 major arcana cards here: the Judgment, the Devil, and the reversed Fool. They're all quite I wouldn't say, well, I would say actually they're all quite heavy energies. They're quite heavy in the sense that, you know, this is all very dark inner world stuff, and this is also very dark inner world. Although you can see the garden out here, you can see where you want to be. This is where you want to be. You want to be out there in that space of that sunshine and that beautiful lush countryside, but there's a part of you that is being trapped, and you're being trapped by yourself, by your own oppressive thoughts and your own belief that you cannot achieve beyond what you've already achieved, shall we say. So I'm going to pull a few more cards here for each of the major arcana and see what comes up. And I will start pulling a card for the Judgment card, because that was the first card I read. So let's see, for the Judgment card, what is the message that goes along with the Judgment card? Please, universe, spirit guides, spirit family. What is the message here? There's a few cards here, so we'll take the first one for Judgment. And we have the Lovers. The Lovers. The choice of who we have, the choices that we make, shall we say, the choices that we make. There needs to be a release of a feeling of having made some bad decisions and not necessarily ending up in situations that are good for us, is the feeling that I'm getting from these 2 cards together. Both, again, major arcana cards. So this is all about our choices, why we choose the person that we choose, in the sense of who we fall in love with, as a reflection of ourselves. So it's very much about our own inner belief when it comes to the person that we have a relationship with. Because if we don't believe ourselves worthy of something, or worthy of love even, then we will choose somebody who will reflect that for us, who will give us the energy that says you are not worth this. If we have strong beliefs about who we are and that we do deserve, then we would choose somebody who also reflects that, because that will, somebody who sees that within us will also be attracted to that energy. So the Lovers card for me is all about attraction, in the sense of what is going on within ourselves. How do we really feel about ourselves? And until we let go of these emotional situations, emotional baggage in many ways, we will continue to attract what we believe we deserve. And that truly is the message behind the Judgment and the Lovers card. What do we deserve? What do we believe we deserve? And the Queen of Pentacles believes she deserves the best. She does believe she deserves the best. She may not always get the best, but she believes she deserves it on some level. But that doesn't mean that she herself also doesn't have past issues that she needs to clear out in order to be able to have the best. Because believing on one level that you deserve the best, on a like mental level, if you like, you can keep saying to yourself you believe that you deserve the best, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to change your vibration enough in order to be able to attract the best. So this is saying that you do need to work on yourself in clearing out. And there are ways to do that. There are modalities out there now where you can clear out your past and you're no longer kind of going through the same stories over and over again, because you change your vibration, and in changing your vibration you can attract something different, and stop being stuck in the same place and going over the same stories, which again is what the Fool says, is, you know, he has to take this leap, because if he doesn't take this leap he's just going to end up either staying there and just staying stuck forever, or he's going to go back down the way that he's just come and just relive everything from his past. He's got to this point now where he has no choice other than to stay stuck or take that leap of faith. So I've got a few cards here. I'm going to put one on top of the Fool and to see, aha, we have the Eight of Cups, which kind of makes sense to me with the upside down Fool and the Judgment card, because this is saying there is a situation where you need to walk away and go down these steps, the same steps that you see in the Judgment card here, walking down into the underworld, which is very much what this is about. The underworld as in the inner, the kind of, you know, the deeper realm. And in this particular card, each of these cups here represents a situation for Psyche here, who has lost her love, and she needs to go down into the underworld. She needs to walk away from it. She needs to let it go in order to go and release herself. Release herself from the past, from the hurt, from the pain, from the sorrows, from everything that has led her up to this point today. And this is a Knight card, and the moon in the background as well, which kind of reflects a need to go within. This is all very kind of, you know, inner, dark, dealing with the stuff that we don't necessarily want to deal with, as portrayed by the Devil card here as well. So the next card we have, I am going to put on top of the Devil card, which is really interesting because we have the complete opposite of the Devil. We now have the Sun, whereas this is kind of the darkness. This is the light, and it's kind of saying that after a time of stumbling around in the dark and not seeing things as they truly are, because you're so caught up in a situation and controlled by your kind of need to make everybody else happy in many ways, and kind of like allow other people to control you. At last, there is this kind of almost like a light bulb moment of realization, of realizing that, you know, you've been stumbling around in this dark room, and in fact there is a light, and all you had to do was put the switch on and there it is. You know, the sun represents everything that's bright, joyous. It's like bringing that light down into your life. And I would say that that's, you know, again, this is the subconscious card. This placement where the Judgment card is in the subconscious, so it's in the deep realm of having to deal with that stuff that is in our subconscious. And in doing so, you can bring this light into your life. Although this is in the past and it's what's moving away, it's saying that this can defeat this, if you like. There is this like possibility of clearing this out and turning it into this. So this can become this by not staying stuck, by not allowing yourself to stay in that situation. and taking that leap of faith, trusting in something bigger than yourself, trusting the universe, trusting that the universe knows what you need and what you want and what's best for you. And the next card, I'm going to put one over the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Six of Pentacles over the top. And this is an interesting card to me because there always seems to be like a power struggle in some ways. I know a lot of people see the Six of Pentacles as kind of a beneficiary, and in many ways it is, and they're kind of balanced. But in this card, this king here actually doesn't have as much power as you would think he does, although he's the one who's got all this money. This character here, who is a carpenter, is actually needed by this king because he's the only one who can actually do what the king needs to be done. So he actually has more say in the matter than the king. But if you look at this from an outside point of view, you would think that the king would have more power. But he doesn't, because he needs the skill of this particular character. And it's coming over the top of the Queen of Pentacles. So for me, it's saying that there is a power struggle here. That this queen, or this energy of the queen, I feel there's a stubbornness behind this. I think this is kind of the energy that I'm picking up on at the moment, is there's a stubbornness that she does not want to budge. And I think that this is very much portrayed in the Devil and the upside down Fool and the Ten of Wands as well, that she does not want to budge, even though she's being given an opportunity to, I feel on some level being given an opportunity to balance out a situation which hasn't been very balanced up to now. There's something that she doesn't agree with. There's something that doesn't feel right about this situation. Might choose to take another card for that one, actually. Put another card on top of that. Ah, brilliant. We have the Justice card. And the Justice card is all about balance. Literally. It's all about fairness. It's all about no power struggles. There has to be a balance here, because justice says that what has already been decided is what's going to take place. And the reason it's already been decided is because our actions create our present and our future. So justice here with the Sword of Truth, with the Owl of Wisdom. This is Athene, who is very strategic, very logical. She balances things up. She's got the scales here. She doesn't look at things from an emotional point of view. She has the ability to see things from a third party, or third person, so that she can take her emotions out of a situation and actually look at things, again, with the black and white chessboard here, the strategy, the kind of, game of chess where we can all play different pieces through our life. She has the ability to cut through and say, this is how it is. This is the way it is. There is a need for fairness and justice here, and justice will be done. Justice will come down. On whichever side justice is meant to come down. Justice cannot be forced or changed, because justice is about our actions and the consequences from our actions. Which is why sometimes things seem to be unfair to us, but they're not necessarily unfair in the realm of justice, because she has already made the decision from past situations. And what we have here, which I was going to place over the Ten of Wands. Oh, that wasn't reversed. There we go. Ten of Wands wasn't reversed, but the Eight of Swords is. And the Eight of Swords is saying that in this situation, there is a feeling of being trapped, that you cannot, again, it's that whole being stuck thing. It's that whole kind of like, I can't get out of this. This is too hard for me. This is too difficult. This is not working in my favour. But the interesting thing about this card, not only being swords and the fact that it's all to do with the mind and the mental realm and the kind of, you know, it's not physical as such, but it can become more physical because we can manifest it into the physical. Because that's what our minds do, and they play games on us all the time. But the Eight here is saying that if he really noticed, he could just walk through these swords. They're only trapping him in the sense of he believes that he's trapped. If he turns around, there's nothing behind him. He can quite easily walk away. But he chooses on some level to stay trapped because there's a part of him who believes that he should remain trapped. That's where he's supposed to be, and that's what's supposed to be happening to him, which is quite interesting with the Justice card here. This feeling of unfairness, which I get that's what I get from this card, is a feeling that it's not fair. It's not fair. Why is this happening? It's not fair. I shouldn't be in this situation. I shouldn't be trapped like this. When in fact, the person isn't trapped. They're not trapped. They just believe that they're trapped. Same as they believe that they don't have the ability to move forward with the Fool card here. There is just this feeling of I can't. I just get the feeling of I can't with this card. I can't do it. I've just got to stay here. This is not escapable. I get the feeling that somebody's believing, or a group of Librans out there believe that they are trapped in this situation because they deserve to be trapped in this situation, which is also very much to do with this Judgment card down here, the kind of feeling of like, you know, I deserved this, and the need for forgivingness. I don't think forgivement's a word. Don't know where that came from. But that's the feeling that I get from here, from these cards. And I can understand why you got an extra 2 of these Namaste cards. And the 2 that you got are the Blessing of Faith, which is this card here, which is very red and kind of, it looks, to me, it looks quite, like quite stormy, quite angry, quite base chakra energy. But it says the universe is testing you. Will you be faithful and true to yourself? Be courageous, for you are supported by a divine ocean of love. You are gifted at this time with the blessing of a strong faith that will see you through the present challenges. So this is why you got this card, because this reading is saying exactly that, you know, you're being tested, but you yourself are testing yourself. And that's really what you need to remember. You have support. You are testing yourself. You may not feel like you are, but we are always testing ourselves, even from an outer perspective. It's ourselves that cause the situations to evolve in our lives. And it's followed by this card, which is the blessing of positive thought. Each time you notice a negative thought cross your mind, stop and consciously replace it with a positive one. Practice this until the pattern is broken. You will set yourself free. This is a blessing you give to yourself. It will lead you to a feeling of deep peace and contentment. So it's saying if you want to get out of this, if you want to get out of this place, this stuck feeling, this feeling like you can't go forward, if you want to leave all this behind and move into something else, the best way to do it is by every time you feel a negative thought enter your mind, every time you feel like I can't, every time you hear in your own head, that's not possible, I can't do this, why should I be able to do this? Stop that thought, change it with something else. Change it with a positive thought, which I know sounds really easy and it's not, but it's how you're going to get out of this dilemma that you're in at the moment, Librans. And the last card that we have here from Esther and Jerry Hicks is, my greatest gift to give is my happiness. And when you realise that, Libra, as well, you'll see that all of this turmoil has been worth it. The greatest gift that you could ever give is your own happiness. When you are in a state of joy or appreciation, you are connected to the stream of source energy. That is truly who you are, and anything or anyone that you are holding as your object of attention benefits from your attention. So I think that's quite positive, along with this card here, the practice the positive thinking, because this is saying that when you start practicing your positive thinking and you become happier and happier, you will then be able to attract more happiness as you become more positive. So Libras, I hope that has helped you somehow. If you liked my reading, please could you thumbs it up, give me a like, subscribe to my channel and tap the bell so that you will be able to receive future videos. And I'm wishing you all the best, and hopefully I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.